Quality or quantity is a topic we often find ourselves defining during research methods. The intent of this video is to provide a quick overview of the two terms, using some examples to give clarity and provide some takeaways to identify what type of data you are gathering during your research. Let's begin. Qualitative data collection occurs when a researcher is wanting to measure or describe the experiences, ideas, perceptions, beliefs, or values of a person or group. This data is coming to the researcher through the filter of observation, or being collected in a way that allows an individual an option of choice in how descriptive they decide to be with their reporting. Qualitative data collection can have limiters in place, like providing a scale or range of choices, 1 to 5, or low to high, or some other range of values. These qualities are based on the perceptions of whoever is being observed and can't factor in definitive empirical values. Qualitative measure collects feelings or perception of how something is. Quantitative data collection relies on a trusted, reportable, and definitive scale, something that can be utilized and repeated multiple times with a certainty of accuracy. Quantitative is independent of you or I, the observer or the researcher or the thing that is being measured. It measures, weighs, and collects data on a scale that doesn't get affected by how we feel, think, or understand what is being collected. Quantity sticks primarily to numbers, counting or grouping for statistical analysis, or to measure and organize data given a specific value being applied to it. Here is a way to consider a quality versus quantitative approach to tracking. Given the same period of time, we will look at how rainfall is thought about and experienced in a qualitative evaluation. The rainy season here has become much drier over the last 20 years. The crops that grew well and I harvested in early August now take longer and don't grow as big, even harvesting them in late August. Now, the same period is considered using quantitative measure. Including this previous year, the measured rainfall from July to September of the previous 20 years has changed from 0.28 to 38 inches daily on average for July, to 0.21 to 0.17 daily for August, and 0.26 to 3.33 daily for September. August rainfalls have decreased most significantly in this 20-year period. Overall, the average rainfall, however, has increased during this period. Considering the two representations of the data, can you ask questions about the qualitative presentation and the quantitative one? Can you gather useful information from these reports for your research? What we feel and what we count can be measured. The qualitative is measuring feelings, perceptions, and outcomes based on a personal or subjective understanding of what is going on. The quantitative is measuring defined quantities, counting, indexing, and labeling based on an independent standard, objective, and inconsiderate of how we might feel about what is going on. In the previous example, the farmer believes the crop is producing less and taking longer than it did previously. This is qualitative data collection because it is based on the farmer's perceptions and feelings. Quantitatively, we looked at rainfall over a period of the past 20 years and measured that rainfall based on a daily average of collected rainwater month by month, year by year, and derived at a measure that could be counted. We collected data both qualitatively and quantitatively. What we do with it now depends on many other decisions. What we want to have are valid collections of data to ask questions of, so we can provide useful and valid information in our reporting. If you are being asked to count something or report on the standard measure, that's quantitative. If you are requested to report on your or other people's perception of something, that's qualitative. Value is the worth of something. Valid data collection can be qualitative, collecting and measuring perception, or quantitative, collecting and measuring based on the numbers of. We can analyze what we've gathered for comparisons to support or give evidence for or against our research question, and can ask the same questions of validity on how we constructed our measures. The qualitative is gathering our sensory data, and the quantitative is gathering data independent of sensory input. Here is another example of gathering quantitative data. In February 2018, Tesla Motors SpaceX launched the Falcon Heavy rocket, including as its payload a Tesla Roadster, rocketing it into space. Multiple measuring devices can collect data on the vehicle's trajectory, velocity, orbit, vectors, and determine how far, fast, and long it has traveled. This data can be verified and measured by multiple persons using the same scales and come to the same results over and over again. This is an example of quantitative data. Qualitative data collection can be to gather individual perceptions of the Falcon Heavy launch, their feelings about the Tesla Roadster, what we have to gain from the launch, why Tesla put a figure representing an astronaut in the driver's seat, or general views of the event. The data collected doesn't fit into a scale since it is individuals giving their perceptions. We as researchers can construct some sort of measure of our findings, but the data is qualitative because it is feedback from the notions, ideas, perception, and thoughts of individuals. In a non-lived-in world, it would be easy to sort things either by counting or by feelings. Not all reporting is like this, or is it easily fit into one category or the other. Our research question is often only covered by mixing both types of data, and our resources may also mix qualitative and quantitative data. Knowing how best to define what we are reporting and what we are using gives a clearer picture to our audience and to others who analyze our research. Always remember to read carefully what objectives or outcomes your instructor wants from your research assignment. Determine with them what type of data collection they are looking for. And overall, I hope this has helped you understand the distinction between qualitative and quantitative data.